listeners, it's Katie. Welcome to our episode. If you were listening to our last episode, you were probably expecting this one to be Cool Runnings. Well, unfortunately, Bridget and I did record an episode on Cool Runnings, and because we recorded so far in advance, sometimes your computer decides to delete things after 30 days. Yep. So, we're giving you what would have been the follow-up to Cool Runnings. This is X-Men. Enjoy. And be on the lookout for Cool Runnings sometime in the future. So, I have exciting news.
I'm very, I don't know. Where's this coming from? What's it about? Who knows?
Nothing to do with me.
Oh, okay.
Nothing to do with you, but, maybe?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so listeners, just so you kind of understand what is happening.
Okay, what's happening?
We are recording our episodes ahead of time. So Bridget, who is pregnant when she has her baby, she'll be able to have a break with the baby from the podcasting. So we're very ahead. So this episode's coming out mid-January, but right now it's not mid-January. It's early December. And my one best friend, Katie, had a baby. She had her baby last night.
Wow! Oh my god! Your first best friend in the group!
I know.
Oh my god! Wow!
It was early. It was 2 weeks early for her.
Oh my god! 10, as Dad would say, 10 fingers, 10 toes.
Yes.
All healthy?
Everything is good. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And she texted us at 8 p.m. and she's like, I'm in a lot of pain. Going to the hospital. Wish me luck. Bye. We're like, Kitty, get to the hospital quicker. Don't be texting. And then I woke up today and she sent a text at 2 a.m. Hey guys, gave birth. Everything's great. Anyway, I'm going to go take a nap now. We're like, Kitty, go to sleep. Why are you texting?
Oh my god. Okay, well she wasn't in the hospital for days and days and days. I mean, that sounds great.
Yeah, everything
went
my
well.
Gosh. So
wow.
She's a mom. Oh my god, that's so weird.
Oh my god.
That's so weird.
You guys are all aunties now. Do you guys have a name for your friend group? Do you have a crew name?
Oh.
I realized how white I sounded when I said crew name. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Life friends? I think that's kind of what we call ourselves.
Life friends? Okay.
And that was obviously by Mel, so,
Oh my god.
Very exciting. So congrats to Katie and Justin.
Katie, we hope you listened to Sisters Who've Seen It while you pushed out that sucker, because that's what we're here for. Support.
Wow.
No?
I don't know if noise is allowed in the delivery room. Well, can you do that? Can you play music when you're giving birth?
We gotta talk about this. So my doctor asked me that. She goes, "Do you want your own music?" And I started laughing.
Did you say, I want to play my podcast, and then you'll all click subscribe and write a review after you wash your hands when the baby's born? Did you say that?
How did I ever forget to not play Sisters Who've Seen It? That has to happen.
Oh my god.
My god. Well, big congrats, Katie.
Woo!
Good luck being new mommy. Very exciting.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, 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 sisters. Sisters who've seen it.
Hello.
Hello there.
Welcome back, listeners.
Glad you're back. Glad you're here.
Glad you're here. I was thinking, could I be a mutant and say something about evolution and mutation and...
I was going to ask you, if you were a mutant, what powers did you want?
I knew this would come up. I knew it would come up. I have thought about it. Oh, man, there's so many. Okay, I can't even get into it right now.
Okay, we'll build up to it.
There's a lot, Bridget. Okay.
Well, who are we?
Let's start with
who
the
we
basics.
Are.
Here's the basics, listeners. We are not mutants, unfortunately. Okay, not yet, at least. But we are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where two sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
And Hugh Jackman's hot in this movie, and always. Woo!
Ooh, he is. And Kate, did you know that he only had 3 months to prepare for this because he was a last-minute actor ad?
What? I didn't know that.
Hot damn, nobody wanted then some other guy got stuck with a production problem, and so they called up Hugh, and in 3 months he got those freaking abs.
Okay, it comes full circle because the original character of Wolverine is actually an Australian guy, and Hugh Jackman's from Australia, even though he didn't have an Australian accent in this movie. So it's kind of full circle.
Wow.
A little bit. Bridge, what's our movie this week?
Our movie is the original 2000 movie X-Men.
X-Men.
Capital X dash
Capitals.
capital N.
Capital N.
E-N. And I learned what the X is.
Oh, it's the chromosome.
Oh, that's not what I read.
Oh, I mean, it's not. Wait, what is it? No, I thought that's
it's
what
like
it was.
Extra powers, like X.
Oh, I thought it was chromosome X.
I don't know. Like an extra chromosome?
We'll have to read the comic. Well, actually, Bridge, in the movie, Professor Xavier goes, the children have lovingly named us the X-Men. And then I'm pretty sure Wolverine is like, that's stupid. And we were all like,
Wolverine says what we think. He says it out loud.
Wolverine is us. We are Wolverine. Everybody's having a good time.
Kid, I think this is your synopsis.
No.
Damn!
Wrong. It's wrong. Bridge, I can't do the synopsis because I'm literally going to talk about how great everything is, and that's bias.
Wait, I thought I did the last movie.
No, I did.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Just do your best, Bridge. I'll be here to help if you need it. I've got citations.
Okay.
I've got references.
Stretching
got
it out.
this.
Stretching it out. Stretching
Stretch it out.
Okay, I'm going to start
Shoulder
with
rolls.
my warm-up. My warm-up is my sentence that I never read correctly. Here we
One
go.
sentence. Okay.
A group of heroic mutants battle an evil mutant hell-bent in revenge against humanity in the futurist tale based on the comic books.
I'm sorry, futurist? Is that a word?
Kate, I write this
I'm not,
stuff
I don't mean
down.
for you, I mean like in the life, Bridge. Like okay, I'm sorry. Sensitive subject, sorry.
Okay, so this entire movie sets off what is, I think, 10 X-Men movies?
There's, I don't even know, there's a crazy amount, and there's gonna be more. It's like
So
never ending.
This was the original.
Yes.
And at the time...
The original live action.
Yes, at the time, the animated series was definitely popular.
So good.
Yeah, and
So good.
I'm sure you're gonna have to school us on some of the stayed to the true comic / animation versus kind of steered away, but I'm gonna try my
Maybe.
best. So,
Okay.
Professor X takes us all the way back to Billy Madison's mansion, right?
That is Billy Madison's mansion. I thought about that.
And
oh my god.
We recorded with another podcast, and that's why we know about Billy Madison. It is played by Patrick Stewart. He is Professor X, okay?
Freaking love him.
And he basically runs, like, the, Phoenix School for Mutants, or what?
The Charles Xavier School for Mutants? Who was Phoenix?
No, DeVry University. I was like, what is this? Like...
Wait, because I was like, Phoenix actually is an X-Men reference, which is another weird full circle, but I knew you didn't know that, so I had to correct you.
I was trying to do, like, University of Phoenix. I don't know.
I get it. I see.
Okay. So, he embraces his mutant life, and what I understand about mutants from this film is it's just regular people that have, like, one extra superpower. How are they different from superheroes? I don't know. Why does the entire world hate them in this film? I don't know. I am confused why people don't think they're awesome, but I digress. And the reason we see Professor X is like, I love mutants, I got a school, and I'm gonna, like, help everybody channel their power as best as possible, and he represents hope. If I think of Joaquin Phoenix and Mel Gibson in Signs, he's Joaquin. He's like, hey, hope.
The glass is half full.
The glass is half full.
With mutants.
And then people will come around. They'll support us. And then you meet Ian McKellen, who is Magneto. Now, Magneto and Professor X, I guess, were besties back in the day.
They were?
Did they meet
okay, I'm not going to get
into
into
it. Did they meet in Auschwitz or wherever the hell he was as a kid?
No, they met later when, like, they were young men. But there is one of the X-Men movies, because they do, like, there are prequel X-Men movies that were made later after these movies, and they kind kind of go through how they met and their friendship. But they have a nice friendship, and Magneto wasn't always as intense.
Well,
as
Magneto basically is like taken away from his mom in like Nazi times, from what I understood, and then he broke a fence, and that's what made him hate people, and he thinks people will not change. He is like a believer that they will always hate us. They're afraid of what's different. We're what's different, and so we need to basically demolish them, which I was like, okay. So you have good, evil, and yet they're both mutants. Okay, interesting. So then we quickly go to Hugh Jackman, Wolverine.
Rouge.
Woo! Now, we're not actually introduced to Wolverine right away. We get there through Anna Paquin, who is Rogue.
Yes.
And I mean, I got some, what's her True Blood name?
Sookie.
Sookie. I got some serious Sookie vibes because she goes to make out with some guy, and I thought she was a vampire. Suck it away, Sookie.
Well, not too far off. There's more vampire references in this movie, by the way. We'll get into it.
Yeah,
keep going.
Bizarre.
You're doing great.
So you see right away her like struggling, and Professor X is kind of in the background saying, you know, you don't know who has mutant powers. It doesn't mean you have a mutant mom or dad or parents or whatever. You could just be a mutant, and it happens during puberty, and here she is kissing someone, and then this guy basically goes into a seizure, or she explains later, a 3-week coma. Yikes.
Sucks.
Talk about your first kiss going wrong.
That guy's not kissing anyone for a while.
Woohoo! So she flees away and runs away from, like, I guess she just doesn't know what to do, and she gets somehow into this bar where Hugh Jackman is fighting people as Wolverine. Now, I didn't understand that no one knew he was a mutant, so at some point, some guy was like, you should have been really hurt when I punched you, and you weren't. Something's wrong. And then, like, his wolf claws come out, because he was gonna get shanked, and Anna Paquin and him become buddies because she's like, look out. Okay, so she follows him, and then they basically seem like these kind of isolated people on the run who they kind of know they're different, they're kind of talking about it, and right away we get the action from Magneto's crew, who is Sabretooth.
Correct.
And Toad? Damn.
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, I got the name right, though.
Sorry, my reaction was because I hate him, and he's literally the worst mutant you could have ever picked ever to be. There's billions of cool mutants, and we picked the fucking guy who has a tongue. Okay, it's fine. I'm over it.
I know.
It's fine.
I actually read about why that's the case, but we'll talk about it later. So they start to see, like, the evil mutant squad try to take out Wolverine, and then all of a sudden, Professor X's squad, who is Storm, Halle Berry, and Cyclops, James Marsden.
Yes.
Wow. Oh my god.
Bridget, I see you're doing great.
Oh my god.
It's good.
I am reading the cast on my
I see you
browser.
reading because I see you lean in when you are about to say it, but the listeners don't know that, and maybe I'll edit that line out. We'll see.
Okay. So they come and they protect them, and they take Wolverine and Rogue to the school. This is how we get back to Professor X, and he's like, listen, I know, Wolverine, you think we're weird, or you don't know what this school's about, but, like, you know, we're the good guys. And so we don't know why Magneto and his bad mutant crew wants to get you. So just hang out here, let's try to figure it out. The rest of the plot to me is all around how the humans that are not mutants are afraid of mutants. And so they're having this big UN conference in New York City where they're going to, in theory, like, it made it seem like they were gonna, like, pass laws where mutants had to...
they were.
Okay, where mutants had to expose who they were, and therefore...
The mutant registration law.
So I'm like...
Which is kind of
like
like
social
Nazi
security card?
Germany. I don't know.
But
there's some parallels, I think. I don't know if it was executed great, but...
Oh, I hated it. So Magneto is like, this ain't good, and Professor X is like, listen, try to do it the right way. Try to actually, like, do policy and vote in better people. And Magneto's like, get out of here, it doesn't work. And I'm like, oh, 2021, I mean...
Awkward.
Oh, wow. So the rest of the movie can be summed up where it's kind of this, like, back and forth. I got you. No, you got me. No, I got you. And they're both kind of going to this climax moment where Ian McKellen, Magneto, is like, I know how I'm gonna get everybody. I'm gonna turn them all into freaking mutants with my crazy metallic powers. And they try to stop him. And that to me is, like, the plot. Wow.
Yes.
Woo!
Oh
God, I got a cramp.
But you did
I do
good.
okay?
Yeah.
It's I don't want to keep talking about it because then we're going to go line by line, and I think it'll be better line by line.
The only thing I want to mention is two characters. So Mystique.
Oh, Mystique. Oh,
yes.
The naked blue lady.
Yes.
Rebecca Romijn Stamos, who's naked.
She is naked. She wore a lot of body makeup and what.
Wow.
She's an important character, and she's a character that they kind of keep with all of the most of the movies that are X-Men related.
Oh,
She's
wow.
still in, and actually Jennifer Lawrence plays her in the prequels, which is fun.
Okay.
And then Jean Grey is the other important character.
Oh,
and
I
she
forgot about
is
Jean.
Yeah, because she's kind of like,
why didn't Jean have a cool name?
Oh, it's Jean Grey. That's a great question.
Why is it, Professor X? Like, they all have cool names. Why can't she have one?
I don't know, because, like, she's a doctor, so she's like, I'm Dr. Jean Grey. And you're like, I guess that's a cool title, but, like, don't need to be a mutant for that. Also, later in the series, spoiler alert, we think she dies, and then she doesn't die, and then she has, like, crazy powers, like, telekinetic powers, and she basically kills everyone, and then she's called the Phoenix.
Whoa.
But that's when she's, like, bad, but she doesn't mean to be bad, but she's bad. Yep.
Wow.
So, I don't know, maybe that's why she doesn't have a name, because when she gets named, she murders everyone around you.
Wow. Well, that's one way to get a name. Maybe she's so mad she didn't have a name, she retaliated.
Yeah. So just those two characters, they're a fun time. But yes, I want to go scene by scene.
Definitely.
All the days.
All in all, because this starts, I understand Patrick Stewart's going into his whole description about mutants and all that, but I was very distracted by the, like, video game CGI.
Yes.
Cheesy,
the, early 90s screensaver. And you're like, wait, somebody wake the computer up.
Oh my god, somebody put it away. Like, and somebody's like, look how cool this is. Listen, time and time again, nostalgic movies have taught us that CGI doesn't hold up.
No. And in this movie, no.
It doesn't.
The CGI is, like, scary in this movie, and it's not supposed to be scary.
It's stupid.
There were parts where I was like,
It's distracting.
Yeah.
So we see the cheesy title, and I was like, okay. And then we quickly go to
the Holocaust.
Very, very horrible time. And you're like, wait a second, what movie did I put on?
Wait, but I freaking love that this is his origin story, because you automatically are like, oh, I feel bad for this guy. Like, he went through the Holocaust and then was ripped from his parents. And that's how he discovered he was a mutant, because he didn't know he was. And I don't think he hates humans because of the Holocaust. I think it is developed by just growing up and seeing how people react to the mutants. But I do think it's interesting because there's definitely some, like, underlying tones of this idea of, like, you're treating us differently. Like, to him, he's like, you're trying to, like, have us basically out ourselves, almost like how the Jews had to wear the Star of David to, like, identify that they were Jewish and things like that. Like, I think that's how he's seeing it. But it's very interesting because then he, like, the way he goes about things, he's kind of like a little Hitler-y, because he's like, if they're not with us, they're against us and we will murder them. And you're like, oh, will we? Because, shit.
Okay, and let's take any marginalized group that has had, like, something horrific happen to them, right?
Yeah.
In those scenarios, there was a lack of power.
Right.
He's a freaking mutant. Can't you just, like, not be afraid because you can murder anyone at any time?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
Because if somebody that gets as evil as Hitler has mutant powers, we're all dead.
Well, Bridget, fun fact, one of the prequels, I believe, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, I feel like there was a bad guy who, like, was kind of, like, German, and it might have been Kevin Bacon, and...
Wow, 6 degrees!
That's just so 6 degrees of Germany Nazis and Kevin Bacon. So,
oh my god.
I don't know. I love this franchise, and I have never read the comics. I'll be upfront about it, and I don't think they really lean into the Holocaust Nazi angle from the cartoon. But my understanding understanding of this universe is the mutants, not that it's a new thing, but I think it's like newly public is how I understand it.
Yeah.
So I think that's why there's a lot of, you know, these politics talks and like, how are we going to handle this and stuff like that? Because if they had been around for a while, I don't, like, I feel like it'd be different and it wouldn't have.
Yeah, there's no like historic, there's always been mutants or we've always had this. So I also read that up until this point, you had like Superman, you had like Batman.
Yeah.
And each one of those like characters in those movies and the worlds that were created were not like real life. It was like Gotham and like a silly one-liner from Joker. And what I read that changed like Marvel and why this was so popular is that it's in the real times. It's in real life. It's in historical like experiences and they're not really cheesy. They're like what seems like a dude drinking a beer at a bar. Now, I don't know, he's got crazy claws stuck in his hands, but he just seems like he's having a beer.
I love in that scene when he's doing the fighting and literally every punch or hit, it's like pang! Like it's like a metal noise. And I was like, guys, we get it. And also, why didn't the dipshits realize that literally your bones are metal? I'm confused.
I don't know.
Where did we think the noise was coming from? Was it John sitting in the corner with the noise machine?
I don't know.
It wasn't.
I would love to see the Scary Movie reference of somebody in the corner with a noise machine though, because that's brilliant.
Well, and actually, so this is another cool thing about this character. I mean, we're jumping ahead a little, but that's okay. That's okay. The cool thing about his character... Sorry, I'm like, so many exciting things to say. The cool thing about his character is that's not his mutant ability. His mutant ability is that he can heal.
Yeah.
And, okay, so, again, I don't know if this is, like, from the comics or whatever, but there was kind of like an origin story movie for Wolverine.
Ooh.
Not great.
Oh.
Not good.
Oh, okay.
It made Ryan Reynolds dumb, and then... But it did lead to the Deadpool movies later, like... But anyway, that's off topic. But in that origin story, Wolverine does have claws, but they're bones.
Oh.
And I don't know if that's, like, legit from the comics, but the metal on his bones was from, like, an experiment, and that's why there was the whole subplot of, like, I can't remember who I am or where I'm from, and I don't remember anything, and I got these metals, and it's a strong metal called adamantium, and blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
So I like that, because I think you assume, obviously, that his mutant ability is the claws, because that's how they do it in the movie, and then there's the scene where the fucking saber-tooth guy throws a tree, okay? And then we crash through the window and you're like, so he's dead. But then it's like, oh, he healed.
Dude, that was like a crash dummy, like, experience. Like, his body flung around like the Scarecrow from Wizard of Oz. I was like, how is he not dead?
Yeah, there's many times I feel like he should have died, but didn't. So that's a cool mutant ability, being able to heal. No, that's a really
cool ability because in theory, like, you're never dead, right? Like, that's like living forever. And the final scene, which I'm so sorry if I'm jumping ahead, you really see him utilize that in like a beautiful way with Rogue.
Oh.
Wow. Okay, but one of the things that I thought was really, if we go back to, we leave Nazi Germany, and then all of a sudden it says, not too distant future, Mississippi. I'm like, what? What does that mean?
And then the next day,
like, wait,
we're in Mississippi.
Are we still in World War II? Like, and Anna Paquin just kissing people in Mississippi? What?
Yeah, I think we're, like, years and years later. I think we're, like, minimum 60 years later.
Yeah, that was a Bob freaking typo. I was like, couldn't you just say present day? Whatever.
Oh, my God.
But we see Anna Paquin, who, you know, hey, we did all the way in episode 1, Kate. Almost Famous.
Oh, my God, I forgot she was in that movie. She doesn't say much in that movie. Yeah.
She doesn't say much, but, like...
But she does maybe rape a 15-year-old, so...
Oh, God, she was a part of the problem.
Yeah.
Band-Aids. Well, actually, the director will have to come full circle to some of that sexual abuse allegations. But
wait, this director?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, not the third, because I know about the third movie one.
No, Bryan Singer. He's a bunch of sexual abuse allegations.
Oh, I didn't know that, because I knew that Brett Ratner had a lot against him. He only did the third movie.
What the hell, X-Men? Get it together.
Oh.
So, anyways, Anna Paquin, she is such a good actor that doesn't have to say a lot.
Yeah.
Like, she says a lot with with her facial expressions, so I thought she was perfectly cast for Rogue, who is a complicated person, and I gotta tell you, I think that might be the crappiest superpower.
Oh, I know.
You can't
How
touch
sad
anybody.
Is that?
Seems like the loneliest superpower ever.
Yeah, that sucks.
Dude, I was like, worse.
It's cool to like steal a power,
yeah,
but not then kill that person.
Well, like I thought
that's not cool.
I was like, okay, Cyclops gets some cool sunglasses. You're telling me she can't get some badass glove that like turns it on and off?
Oh yeah, that would be neat if it was like she could control when she steals it or not.
Because then it's like, hey, I think this guy's hot, and I want to take him home from the bar and have a little hanky-panky, but I don't need to suck the life out of him. I just want to have some fun.
She's never gonna bone.
She's gonna die a virgin.
Well, actually, Bridget, in the second movie, she does get a boyfriend, and she like makes out with him for a little bit because he like lets her. And I don't think they have sex because he would die.
I want to make bad jokes about like take my breath away, but I'll stop.
At some point, we'll have to do the second movie because I actually really like the second movie. I like it better than this one. And then we save it for that one, Bridge. We'll put it in our pockets.
All right, so she's on the run. She loses her mind. She puts this kid into a seizure, coma, whatever. And we get to, which I think the original Spider-Man steals from this
cage
scene.
Match. Yes.
They steal the cage match. They steal the Wolverine cage match.
They absolutely do.
We know you did it. We're watching you. Go back to our episode. We talk about it. And I'm just very confused why everyone just keeps seeing Wolverine win, but they don't think he's a mutant. How do they not know, Kate?
I don't know, but the metal sounds British. Like, I don't know how many times we can say it. Like, it was very obvious.
It was very, very obvious.
Don't get it.
But he is so hot. And this is what catapulted, like, Hugh Jackman's career. So, and even the fact that, like, he wasn't the first cast, and, like, when you see him in Broadway, I mean, he obviously had to, like, really change. Like, he doesn't seem, my whole theory in actors play themselves, I don't know if he's, like, a natural Wolverine. I think he had to try real hard to be, because once you see him in Broadway, you're like, I think that's who you are.
Yeah, like, Greatest Showman, and then this. And you're like, wait.
Wow.
Who are you?
But so hot. So hot.
I love him. He's hot. And then he obviously discovers Rogue. She's fucking like sleeping under a tarp in an exposed part of a trailer? I don't know. And he literally finds her and he just goes, get out. I don't want to see you.
Oh, and she didn't even react like, oh my God, I'm caught. She was just like, I need a ride. I was like, the two of you are giving the same energy and it's not appropriate reaction.
Yeah, because she's like an apathetic teenager and he's like an apathetic Wolverine man thing. I don't know.
God. But eventually he's like, all right, get in the front seat. I'm sorry. Whatever. Who are you?
That's why we love him, because he's a big, tough person, but he's got a big heart, too, underneath all that chest hair. Okay. Well, it's fine, because he gets flung out a window.
Oh my God. And like, okay, literally she's like, I think you should put a seatbelt on. And then he's like, no, and flies out the window 3 seconds later. It was a Crash Dummy commercial. If we had the ability to edit, I would edit him and then a Crash Dummy commercial, because it was such a fake body being thrown.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all skimped out on this so bad. It is so embarrassing.
So I need to bring you on this journey with me in my brain.
I'm here, Kate. I'm ready.
Okay.
I will put my seatbelt on.
I don't really remember why we did this before, but we mentioned vampire. Why did we? Oh, because of True Blood. Okay. Okay. More vampire references. Bridge, did you ever see the movie Twilight?
I did, but a long time ago, which actually we should do that movie.
Oh, that would be fun. Okay. In the first Twilight movie, and listeners, I know we have a lot of adult men listening, so y'all can fast forward this part or whatever, but somebody's gonna get this reference. In the first Twilight, the bad vampire is this guy with long blonde hair and bushy blonde eyebrows, and he has blacked out black eyes, and he fucking looks like this saber-tooth guy.
Oh.
And I think they're the same person in universe, and I kept hearing Twilight music in my brain every time he flew around, because the vampires fly around, and like, I don't even know, like somebody needs to edit scenes of him fighting and jumping through trees, and then literally go watch Twilight, because I'm telling you right now, it's the same shit.
I'm trying to look up this person right now. Who is this person?
His name, I feel like his name was like James, which is not a really scary vampire name. But
it was like Tom.
It was like Jimmy. I don't know.
You know why I also think you got some Twilight vibes? I would say up until like 40 minutes into the movie, everything is shot with like a blue dark tint.
You know what? You're right.
It's
I bet
all
that is
gray.
part of it too.
It's all gray and blue. Everyone's face looks like washed out. And then once you get to Billy Madison Mansion, all of a sudden there's light and happiness and all that. And I read nowhere that was intentional, but clearly it was.
I think it probably was. Yeah. So obviously Sabretooth is kicking butt, and then there's some stupid thing about a car's gonna explode because this is kind of an action movie. Whatever. But don't worry, Bridge, because who comes in to save us?
Storm and Cyclops.
As you read the screen.
I'm so nervous to screw these up. You get so mad if I get these wrong. I'm so scared of you.
Yes, Storm and Cyclops, and it's a quick turnaround.
Well, okay, and then I'm like, wait, you're telling me Rogue is in the car, and she's like, I can't get out. The seatbelt's stuck. I'm like, you have all the powers in the universe, and you can't, like, take off a seatbelt?
No.
And Cyclops is like, I got that. Which, is his power that his eyes just, like, shoot laser all the time, so his sunglasses block them from shooting lasers?
Yeah.
So when he presses the button, it, like, lets the lasers come out.
I think when he presses the button, it can change the size of the laser. Like, it can be small.
Wow.
I think.
Okay. Because when you're doing some power comparison, okay, I'm just going to throw this out. Storm, which I don't understand doesn't have a bigger role, because if you can literally make hurricanes like, national disasters happen, why are you the most backgroundy character ever?
This is like Wonder Woman 1984. Homegirl doesn't do anything helpful until the very end climax of the movie, where she finally decides to do Big Storm and Thunder Lightning, and I just, she is given the shit card in this movie.
Okay, all right. Eventually she gets rid of Toad and electrocutes him, and I'm like, I'm finally with you.
That's the only time, but that was like an hour and a half in.
It took so long. Okay, so all right, we go to the school. Sabretooth comes back to Magneto and is like, sorry boss, I fucked up. And I don't think Magneto likes Sabretooth. He was like, you suck as an employee.
And why do we only have 3 employees? 2 of your employees are like mutant animal people, and one of them is stupid Toad, who is the worst. Of all the powers, why
Kate,
did you
I got
want
some
that?
real Men in Black alien vibes from him.
Yes. Where is Tommy Lee Jones? Cause I need him right now.
Damn, that would be a kick-ass crossover as Men in Black and X-Men.
Didn't we talk about how like Men in Black were like with Marvel? Something?
Probably.
Okay.
Can somebody let us know what episode we did that?
So, I mean, it was probably the Men in Black episode, but I don't know. Yeah, that would be cool.
Okay, but then we go into, because like every good movie has to have like some sort of montage, and we didn't get a lot of it in this movie, but we did get like kids in class, kids learning from professors. Ooh, we're seeing Jean, is that her name? We're seeing
Grey.
Jean like put saucer like
skeet shoots?
Yeah.
It's like skeet shooting with Cyclops' eyeballs.
Yeah, and he's like, pew, 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 pew.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, I'm here for it. This is fun. And Wolverine, and what makes his character so likable is like us. Where he's like, this is cheesy. Your name is Storm, loser, Cyclops, idiot, Professor X, okay. Get out of here.
What do they call you? Wheels? That's fucking
offensive.
rude.
Yeah,
fucking
sir.
rude. But like I did laugh. But like don't say it again, okay?
And then, I forgot about the part where we start to see, which was way too real to life, is Senator Kelly.
Oh, the politics.
Oh my god. So the Dr. Jean Grey is talking about defending the mutant bill in a very like professional, respectful way. And then Senator Kelly is like a regular human, and I didn't know she was a mutant at this point. I thought she was a human. Just talks all over her, explains why mutants are evil.
Very mansplaining, yeah.
I mean, was it wrong since all they did was like death and destruction this whole movie?
Yeah, but would they have done death and destruction without Senator Kelly being a dickhole?
Is it chicken before the egg? No one knows. I mean, right? But I hated him. He was the worst.
He's the worst.
And I was like, oh god, this is like...
Yeah, but again, I love this part of this movie is a lot of these characters where you're like, oh, I don't like them and I'm not supposed to. But then they do give you a little bit of a piece where you're like, oh, I feel a little sympathy for you or whatever. Right, because he then, Magneto fucking kidnaps that little bitch. Does all that. then he's like, oh, we're gonna turn you into a mutant, which is a weird motivation.
I actually thought it was really smart, because it was like, if I kill you, you're right, we're evil and we kill people. If I hold you hostage, we're still dangerous. But if I turn you into a mutant, you can now be empathetic because you are the people you're trying to get rid of.
But his goal was to turn everyone into a mutant in the world.
I think he took it to the extreme. I think he should have done a little user testing on the first guy. Okay, he didn't really do a lot of due diligence, so.
It was very, like, motivation from the Incredibles villain. I don't remember his name, but it's the same thing where he's like, I'll just turn everyone into a superhero and then nobody's really a superhero. And you're like, damn, that's deep, but like, what? It was weird. Also, there was a Bob scene. Bridge, there was a Bob scene here.
Which one?
Okay, when they kidnapped Senator Kelly, which the Mystique reveal is very fun, because that's the first time you see her, when she's like in the plane.
She did all of the work for the bad guys.
Yeah. I know!
She was the only one that was actually like good at her job as a bad guy
carrying
mutant.
Shit on her back, on her blue back that sometimes wasn't blue. Yeah.
Ooh, okay, so talk about this Bob scene.
So, okay, they kidnapped Senator Kelly, and then, I don't know, maybe we cut away, but we come back. Senator Kelly wakes up, and he's, like, tied to a chair, and the scene slowly then pans to the 3 other bad guy mutants, and they're all awkwardly standing in silence.
I know the Bob scene.
In doorways, and you're like, okay, and it's like, no one's talking, and you're like, uh-huh, and then, like, a minute goes by, like, 2 minutes, and you're like, wow, this is a long time. Is there anything important I'm supposed to learn? And then fucking Toad eats a stupid bird, and then that's how it ends, and then Magneto walks in and goes, Toad has a wicked tongue. What the fuck? Why? So dumb.
Oh my god, his only power was his tongue.
It was gross. I hated it.
In COVID times, I don't feel like he is the most sanitary character.
He spits slime. He's licking everything.
You are so right.
I
That
hate
bird
it.
scene was like, wait, are you trying to like intimidate me? And then it gets even more Bobby because Senator Kelly goes, ugh.
Yeah, he's like, gross. Like, okay, this is
so
too much.
freaking stupid. But yeah, so then, I mean, what do you call that big metal device that turns them into, like, it creates radiation, and then that's how he turns them into super mutants, but they just die, because then he just ended up dying.
But I don't think Magneto knew that.
Okay.
Yeah, Senator Kelly, when he turns into a mutant, like, what would we say his mutant ability is? Because I was like, are you now a sponge? Are you sponge? Or are you one of those water, like, fidget tube things that I squish around to relax?
Some Jim Carrey the Mask vibes. Like, he just, like, did a lot of stretching and, like, boing, 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 and, like, cartoony.
Well, that was the creepy CGI where I was like, I know you're not trying to, like, scare me, but, like, I'm afraid, and, like, don't show up in my nightmares tonight, because
I hated it. Also, I got some big Terminator vibes.
Oh, through the bars.
Through the bars, like the liquid guy. And also in another scene when Magneto, like, puts the cop cars up and chucks them down.
Oh my god, I love that scene so much.
That is a good scene. So I feel like it was like he could liquefy but stretch. It was just weird.
Yeah, but then he was like a naked, like, water dude, and there was like a Jaws reference with a kid in a raft, and I was like, is this kid going to be murdered by Senator Kelly? And then he just walks out naked and nobody says anything.
I just fast forward, folks. It was weird. But don't worry, because Dr. Jean Grey at the same time is analyzing Wolverine's body to understand all of the metal things in his body that no one actually knows was put there, including him. And then you're saying there's a whole movie about that.
There is. The second one dives into the origin story, and then obviously in, like, his actual origin movie, there's more of it. And yeah, they reference it a lot, and it is a cool idea. It's a cool story, because it's kind of saying, like, oh, mutants were being experimented on, and it was kind of like by the military, which is another interesting concept. Because honestly, if there were mutants in real life, that's what would fucking happen. The government, this is X-Files Katie coming out. The government's gonna come in your homes, they're gonna take your children who have mutant abilities, and they're gonna weaponize them. And then they're gonna go and send them off to who the fuck knows where. They'll probably send them into space or some dumb shit, and it's be stupid.
But Katie, if I was gonna be Professor X, we always have free will, and this is where Wolverine was like, I'm am not going to be a bad mutant.
Yeah.
So they could mess up his body. They could steal him. They could do experiments. But they can't change his free will that says, my homegirl Rogue, I got her back. And Magneto, you ain't good.
They can't change his free will until the second movie when actually there's a bad guy who does invent something to change your free will. But anyway.
Okay.
If I was Jean Grey in that scene, I would have, took some pictures. Things.
Also, so there is a little, sexualizing a lot of these characters. I read that the comic book fans were mad that they didn't have, crazy clothing, because I guess they have, these bright colors in the comic
they have,
books.
bright yellow suits in the original.
In this movie, they have, BDSM black leather outfits to be cool. But, you also have Mystique, who's, a naked freaking supermodel, and then, I don't know, it was very, and Wolverine kept being hey, Dr. Jean, ooh, you're hot. Oh, I'm gonna steal your woman, Cyclops. And you're okay, I liked you when you were just making fun of their names and how they're, silly mutants. Katie is giving some serious Wolverine flirty eyes. I can't, people. I can't.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I can't help
good.
it. I am still waiting for the day when there is a R-rated, and there, I guess maybe actually we had The Boys, which was a superhero original series, but we need an R-rated, we need a Game of Thrones-esque superhero stories where they are having crazy sex and
exploit the men. Is that what you're saying? Exploit all the male superheroes?
Yeah, and rehire Hugh Jackman for whatever reason, play Wolverine, even if it's not X-Men, and he could just, be naked and it's fine.
Wow, Kate. Wow. Okay, so then we start to kind of learn that Wolverine is oh my god, I don't know what happened to me. I don't know metal things. And he has that crazy dream, right? Where he's nervous and a Paquin Rogue, which
girl,
I don't think this is smart for anyone to do.
No.
Do not walk into a mutant's bedroom.
No.
Ever. Just ever. Unless you're invited and you're Katie.
Woo!
And try to wake them up when you can't touch people because you kill people. So you gently are wake up, you're having a nightmare. Wake up. Because then he freaking claws her.
Shanks her? She was shanked.
Dude, this movie had some really good surprises that were they were just kind of sprinkled, and I was whoa, he just killed her.
I love it.
I didn't even believe it was true. Well, that's when we learn about his healing abilities, and then she also almost kills him because she takes his healing abilities, and you're wow, this is a lot. They're getting more and more connected, and I know it's supposed to be father-daughter vibes, but
You didn't think it was? Because I always felt they did a good job of keeping it non-sexual.
They did, but I just felt the bedroom scene was weird. Why are we in the bedroom for this? And why is she waking him up versus he passed out on a bench or something and she's walking to class? I don't know.
Yeah, I did think of Step Brothers where the mom's no, you never wake up someone who's sleepwalking, and they're, you never wake up a sleepwalker, and he's that's just a myth, and then he goes to wake him up, and then all the Brennan and Dale just beat the shit out of him, and that's what this reminded me of, so, it's fine.
We definitely have to do that movie. Oh my god, there's so many movies. But that is this huge epic moment, because then you're oh my god, is Wolverine dead? Oh my god. And then Rogue runs away, and oh my god, who is Bobby?
Bridge. Wait.
Who is Bobby?
Well, that's her future boyfriend that she
really?
sucks face with.
Wow.
Yeah. Wait, but you know that Bobby was Mystique.
Yes, I do.
Okay, because you were kind of fuck Bobby. I was wait, but Bobby Bridge, he's not that man.
You're did you pay attention to the movie?
Bridget, did you take notes?
Well, at first I thought, oh my god, Bobby has this ability to clone himself. That's cool. And then I was oh, Mystique, you tricky motherfucker.
Bobby has ice powers. Ooh. So he is Elsa from Frozen.
Oh, wow.
Okay, here's my question about this. So Mystique rolls up. The plan is to isolate Anna Paquin.
Yes.
So that they can then kidnap her, because I guess they can't kidnap her when she's in Charles Xavier's school. Fine. And then she also goes and sabotages Cerebro. Right. Cool. So nobody's privy to this, because she can literally transform into anyone, anywhere, anytime. Why didn't she just plant a big old bomb and explode everybody? Because I just feel there were easier ways to get to our end.
Well, and this is what I mean by she was doing all the work.
Yeah, she was. She was doing reconnaissance. She was driving the helicopter. Homegirl pretended to be some stupid political assistant or some bullshit for a couple weeks because he was like, what happened to my assistant? And they're like, he's been dead for weeks. I'm like, oh, so Mystique has just been working a full-time job for weeks without extra pay or benefits? This is a bunch of bullshit. She's the only girl on the team. This is bullshit.
Well, and I'm going to tell you, Kate, I read about her makeup situation. 6 hours every freaking day for that.
Oh my god.
To basically be naked? What, are you kidding me?
She had like undies though, didn't she?
I mean, I guess, but you know, that's so much blue every day.
Yeah. It is a lot of blue.
Wow.
How do you get that off? Like you just
I don't
jump
know,
in a
but
lake or something?
You know she's definitely like still washing
She's
blue
still
off.
blue. She'll never, it's always on her skin.
Oh my god. Okay, so I'm with that theory. I think that she could have definitely done more, especially showing how powerful she was. But they're like, where's Rogue? Because obviously Mystique was so sneaky and was like, get out of here. I'm Bobby and you listen to me, so get out of here. And she's like, okay, I'm out of here. And then Professor X is like, I am Google Maps. And if I put on this helmet, I can find any mutant?
Yes.
And so he finds her and he's like, she's at the train station. And I'm like, again, if we just had phones, like this would also be easier.
You know,
it's like a big, complicated machine for just like a phone call.
Like track your iPhone.
Yeah. Geotag. Like, come on.
Yep.
And then Cyclops and Wolverine are got this like beef going because obviously Wolverine's flirting with his girl, Dr. Jean Grey. Okay, whatever. And then he's like, you can't come in the mission. And then Wolverine basically hijacks his motorcycle.
Wait, it's amazing, number one, because it's really funny. But number two, the way they do that scene is they're like all talking together and they're like, no, you're not gonna go, Wolverine, just me and Storm. And then everyone's like, agreed. And then Wolverine's like, humph. And so you see Cyclops and Storm leave. They leave first. And then the next scene is they get to the garage and then Wolverine somehow teleported and stole the motorcycle before that.
I don't know how he did it.
It makes no sense, but it was awesome.
Yeah. And then he like hits the super fast button. And first of all, when I did not know enough about this movie, I was like, Wolverine doesn't have like that many powers because like people focus on his claws a lot.
Yeah.
But once you really take into account that he can always heal himself and really never die.
Right.
When he puts the super like for speed button, you're like, Wolverine, you're kind of invincible, man. You can just do whatever you want. So if you fly off a cliff, you'll probably be fine.
I think so.
That's
yeah.
kind of an awesome superpower.
It is awesome.
Unless you want to die, and then that's the vampire thing. Then you like are alive for like 3,000 years, and you're like,
and then you're a little emo teenage boy named Edward Cullen who goes to high school over and over, even though like, why the fuck would you choose to go to high school over and over?
Oh my god, I know, right? I mean, unless you're just like really into learning, I don't know.
No.
Okay. Well, we get to the train station, and Hugh Jackman just literally rolls up on the train, and he's like, "Hey, Rogue, what's up?" And she's like,
"Hey,
"Oh my
kid.
god, how'd you find me?" Also, they do like a hug scene, and how does she not? Did you
Because he
notice
doesn't
that?
touch her skin.
Okay.
If you don't touch her skin, you Gucci.
Okay. So
yeah.
So
he goes, hey, listen, that Professor Xavier, I think he really cares about you. And you're like, oh. And then the next line, he's like, what do you say? Let's give those nerds another chance.
Oh my god, I love that.
Damn, it's so good.
That was a very Kevin O'Shea line, you know?
Oh, dear.
Little Giants reference right there, folks.
Yes.
Wow. And she was like, okay. But then, like, the train goes, so I'm like, did you guys miss your opportunity? Whatever. I guess we're going to the next stop. We're going to the next stop. We're super
Well, we don't have time for that because Magneto busts open, and this is a cool scene where, thank goodness this was... I thought this was, like, practical effects. All the metal was, like, shaking and bending, and then the back of the train rips off because it's metal. So cool. And then that's where you see Wolverine goes to attack him, and he's like, dude, you're metal. Like, dude.
Oh my god.
Like, I can control that. And you're like, it's so cool.
It is really cool.
Okay, so we didn't talk about this part, but up till this point in the movie, you are not entirely sure who Magneto really wants of these two, because the two are always together when they're getting attacked by the bad guys.
I mean, I kind of thought it was Wolverine. I believe what the movie told me.
I think that was the point. I think the movie was trying to make you think, yes, it's about Wolverine, and they focus a lot on him, and like, where did you come from, and why do you have all this, and what does he want with you? And then you just find out, no, he wants Rogue Rogue just so he can kill her because she can suck his power, even though that's gonna probably kill him. But then he won't kill him because she'll be killed.
Oh my god.
And mutant and something and exposition and
all they needed to do was sit in a room and develop the story better. You know, because they could have changed that to be so many other things. You know, like they could have been like, I want her to suck all mutant powers from different mutants and suck them into people or something. Like, I bet you, like, you could have made a different storyline that made sense on why she was so special.
Right.
It was like the way you're explaining it is how I felt watching it. I was like, oh, okay, I'm following. All right,
you're like in the freaking helicopter that Mystique is driving.
My God, Magneto, we get it. Yeah.
Well, it's fucking fine because even though you have literally Wolverine and Storm and Cyclops and they're all there, they all get thwarted and it's dumb. And yeah, so they kidnap Rogue and then this is the coolest scene of the movie where they're leaving with her and all the police are there.
I mean, casting Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen was really smart because they can hold their own in terms of like being super duper actors. And he nails this. He nails this. Like, I am not afraid of any of you and your stupid weapons.
Yeah.
It really makes you think like, because at first you hear about his power and you're like, all right, he controls metal. Or you're like, all right, like plastic, whatever. You know, like what? And then you're like, wow, metal cars, metal guns, metal bullets. Yeah. And you're just like, no, there is a lot of metal. Like, you know, it's like, wow, well, now that I think about it.
And this is where the movie's environmental message comes in, listeners, because we need to preserve our natural resources and recycling something. Anyway, also Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen are like best friends in real life. And if you Google them, you're going to find a billion photos of them, like, having fun and taking stupid best friend photos. And it's the best ever. God, it's amazing.
Okay, where's that comedy of those two? Yeah. It's like,
I know. I just want, like, they need a TikTok channel or something. And I will subscribe because they're amazing.
Amazing.
But it's so good. And I love how, obviously, you know, they walk out. It's very menacing. And the police are like, freeze, blah, blah, blah. And the music just cuts.
Yeah.
And Magneto doesn't even say anything. He just, like, casually lifts up two cars very slowly and he just like slams them down.
Well, the shot's perfect because they go behind him.
It's amazing.
It's like brilliant. You're like,
it's so
actually, to
cool.
be honest, I kind of wish the movie had that same level in other scenes.
Yeah, like more cinematic intensity.
Yeah, and like, this is why I think of Terminator, like, because it was just, you know how they always say like show not tell?
Yeah.
And they told a lot. They're like, this is Rogue and Rogue has this power and this is what she does and when she touches you with this and, you know, and in this scene, like, even when he flips the guns on all the cops and then shoots one of them and the bullet, like, stops right in front of this guy's face, I'm like, oh, man. And then you see Professor X and he's, like, basically taking over people's minds and stopping bullets and stopping guns, and I'm like, Patrick Stewart must be tired. My God.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of stuff.
Lots of stuff happening, and, you know, it just doesn't work because he has a good line here, too. So, obviously, like, Charles Xavier then like drops his mind control, so then the bad guys are not mind control anymore, and then Magneto therefore does not murder this entire, you know, horde of police, and Magneto says, you're still unwilling to make sacrifices. Ooh! Which is very drama because later in like a couple scenes Magneto is like, we have to make a sacrifice, but it's like not really a sacrifice for him because it's a girl that he doesn't care about and has no connection, and he's just gonna fucking murder her.
Wolverine calls him out on that.
Yeah, he fucking does. Such a good part. I was like, thank God somebody said something because, hello, sir. And Magneto just floats away when Wolverine says that.
I wish I had that superpower to float away.
He's like, talk to the hand, but talk to my ass as it floats up in your face.
That's a Scary Movie reference.
Yeah.
That is also part of our Scary Movie 3 we will recreate. But the other thing I thought was really, I didn't really get the helmet. I'm just going to tell you for a while. And then eventually Professor X is like, I must not be able to like find out where he is or hear his thoughts because of the helmet. And I'm like, okay, thank you. Because I was like, you know, I just don't think this is part of his his character to, like, roll up in a helmet to just look cool. And I didn't understand it. And then I was like, oh, okay. I get it. There's a purpose. I'm following.
There is a purpose, yes. And if he was smart, he would have given all his henchmen little helmets as well. But he probably in his brain thought, my henchmen suck ass, and the only relevant one is Mystique, and she's fine without a helmet, so fuck it. Yeah. Ridiculous.
Wowie. But they fly away in the helicopter like evil villains do. And now the plot thickens because Rogue is taken. They're defeated. You're like, hot damn, where are we going? And then you get like a Zoolander-style diorama of frickin' Cyclops being like, here's the Statue of Liberty. Here's Ellis Island. The people are coming here. The top of the Statue of Liberty is where they're going to be. They're going to put Anna Paquin here. And I was like, what?
Center for ads?
It needs to be at least 3 times the size of this. But I was like, okay, so, all right, now we're...
Well, before this, though, we get Senator Kelly walks all the fucking way to Billy Madison's house with no map, no pants, no phone, nothing.
Yep.
Feel like it's been a week, and somehow he makes it. And I don't know. And they're like, we better help him. And then they realize like what happened, and Professor X reads his mind. That's where he kind of figures out like, this is what happened and where could they be going? We don't know. But when he tries to use the Cerebro machine, this is where it was poisoned or whatever by Mystique. So Professor X goes in a coma. So he outie, and that's why we don't bring him along, I suppose.
Yeah, Wheels is done.
Wheels is taking a nap. So that's why then Cyclops is like, all right, I guess I'm in charge. And we're going to look at this map thing. And then somewhere here, Senator Kelly dies. I don't care, honestly. I should care, but I'm like, I'm good.
Well, it's so weird to me that he's like, Storm, hold my hand.
And she's just like, I guess, because I don't have a lot of lines, and this is what someone told me to do.
And I'm like, okay, so she's to like stand here, and then he just like turns to water, and you're like, we never really knew your superpower, did we? And now you're water. And then
that's why I think he was one of those, you know what I'm talking about? The like water tube thing with the little stuff inside that you squeeze and like, what is that?
I don't know, but I'm following Kate. I just don't know the name
of it. That's what I think his superpower was. And then he exploded with water, which is what happens to most of those toys. Anyway, they're out of commission. Professor X is taking a nappy. I don't fucking know. We gotta figure out what's happening. And somehow Jean figures out where they're going, and she knows, oh my god, they're going to Ellis Island because for some reason, international everyone is going to Ellis Island for a stupid speech outside. What if it fucking rains? Nobody brought a tent. This is a bunch of bullshit. It's a very exposed area, and I don't give a shit about your policeman on foot. Thank you. Good night.
I didn't know if you had to keep going. You're good?
That was it.
Okay.
That's what the good night
was. I freaking love it. I love it. But they get in their little jet and they fly away, and all the students are like, whoa, cool, one day we'll be in a jet. They
literally abandon all the children. It's amazing. And it comes up in the second movie, which is so funny.
Oh my god. So they take the jet. Wolverine's making fun of their outfits, and he's like, we look stupid, but fine. And then they get to the Statue of Liberty, which is where Anna Paquin is. And then, honestly, when you think of, let's watch the movie X-Men, it is mutants, it is action. This last scene is kind of what I thought would have happened for more of the movie. We didn't really get a lot of action scenes. Like, besides the train station. So finally they have like an epic battle, and I don't know if I'm being kind of like harsh, but I thought it was pretty weak.
It's weak because the fucking bad guys are weak. That's why. Mystique is cool, but
she's pretty cool, but even the fight scenes with them, it's like, you could tell she's on wire doing like weird backflips, and I'm like, let me tell you, there's a little movie called Kill Bill, and there is a badass motherfucker called Zoe Bell who you should have hired to do your stunt double stuff, because it missed the like human fighting part. And I don't know, I was like, okay, action. But I mean, they get there, and then there's the cool scene with Storm where she like electrocutes Toad and says like a silly line with it, like, what happens when you electrocute a toad?
The same thing that happens to everyone else.
And you're like, we didn't like him, so.
And then you're like, zing? No, not sure. But thank God he's gone, because he sucks.
Oh
And
my
then
God.
somewhere in there, Mystique gets shanked.
Ooh.
She pretends to be Storm, and Logan shanks her. So again, you're like, oh shit, was that Mystique stabbing the real Storm? Or the real Wolverine stabbing the fake Storm Mystique? I'm lost. And then it was fine.
This is another superpower of Wolverine, where he smells people that aren't the people he knows. And I'm like, okay. I just wrote, Wolverine sniffs her out. And I was like, whoa, the twist. Because I thought he was like, I thought she was him killing Storm. But yeah,
Yes.
we can't even, we can't describe this, listeners. It will be too painful for you. Go watch the movie.
Wait, but then we have a great moment where Cyclops and Jean are like, okay, we're here. And then Logan runs in and Cyclops is like, whoa, like, who are you? And he goes, it's me. And then Cyclops goes, prove it. And Wolverine goes, you're a dick. And then he was like, okay, that's him. So then they're like, all right, this will be easy. Let's go like get Magneto. But then they all literally get thwarted right away by Magneto. And he's like, hey guys, I think you forgot I control metal. Also, we're surrounded by metal. So, yeah, I'm gonna just tie y'all up and here we go.
Magneto is like the kid in class that like always gets an A+ and like is very, very confident and annoyed at everyone else about it.
Yeah.
He rolls in and he's like, this is really easy to like.
He literally is like, I'm gonna shut this shit down, all right? I'm fucking over
he's like,
this.
my henchmen are terrible.
Yeah.
Where's Mystique?
They really are. And then he's like, here, Wolverine, I'm gonna put your claws against your own chest so you can, like, if you want to get out, you're gonna stab yourself. And I was like, well, Magneto, maybe if you did your homework, you would have found out that, like, that was stupid, but you didn't really do your research, so.
I wanted you to say actually again, because then we can turn it into a drinking game.
You're dumb.
This is the drinking game, folks.
Yeah, but this is where Wolverine says his line where he's like, you keep talking about sacrifices, but I don't see you up there by yourself doing the machine. And then Magneto says nothing and floats away. It's amazing.
My God. That is
amazing.
It's so ridiculous. And the way he floats, too, is not like intense, masculine flying. Like, you're right, he like fairy floats.
It's like slow and he like stares at him with like a judgy face. And you're like, what are you, in Mean Girls? Get out of here with that.
And then we see eventually what happens, which Wolverine stabs himself.
He does.
He heals himself. Then he somehow takes the glasses of Cyclops that, you know what, this is again, we shouldn't over explain it. You guys should just watch it.
They get out and it is cool how they get out.
But the final scene of basically going and stopping Rogue,
yeah,
is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little anticlimactic, but it's cool.
It's conceptually cool, but the effects are
cheesy. They're really cheesy.
It's just not good CGI, and every time you see Ian McKellen's face, it's like he's behind the spinny thing and the white stuff, and it's like weird and blurry, like he's a little ghost Ian McKellen, and I don't like it, because if he dies, I'll be sad. So never die. Thank you. Thanks, Gandalf.
Yeah, we know your love for Gandalf. But the effects.
FX.
So basically the X-Men save the day. They go off on their jet. Everyone at the UN is fine. Do they still hate mutants? Probably. But
Definitely.
Don't worry, we're going back to the school. We go back to Professor X. And Kate, we finish back where we started, which is two besties in real life, Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen, playing some chess in prison.
Playing some plastic chess, because everything is plastic now. And what did I write? I go, Magneto is in a plastic-ass cell, and we're playing chess and asking the philosophical questions among friends.
Okay, now I'm getting some Black Panther vibes, because I think you could tie this to, like, climate change, and Michael B. Jordan and Ian McKellen teaming up and being like, you know what? Humans are evil. And it's like, listen, in 2021, like, they are. Like, it is. We have lots of examples. And then they, like, take everybody down, but we, like, kind of like the bad guys, and then that's the twist. That's X-Men 11. Done. We're writing it.
You should watch the other movies, because they are good. There's a lot of them.
I mean,
don't watch
10.
the third one, though. It
10.
sucks. Okay, well, watch the second one at least, because it's the
many.
best one.
Wow.
Well, Bridge, I know how I feel about it, but would you watch or don't watch?
I would watch, but I would lower my expectations with the CGI.
Agreed.
I would watch and fall in love with Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Same.
Wow. We did it.
Woo!
Woo!
Love it.
Well, it's that time, Kate.
Yes.
And that time is for me.
Yes. It is correct. It is.
And we have kind of been a little bit oopsie-doopsie forgot about you, but we never forget about you, but we forget to add you a listener pick. So, Kate, we got a listener pick.
Oh my god.
It is from Tommy.
Tommy! Oh!
Tommy, how are you? He is from Oakland, California.
Tommy, are you doing okay?
I don't know if that
Sorry, that's
matters.
a stereotype, but I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it, Tommy. Don't be mad at me.
I don't know if that matters, but I guess that question is asked. But he has a great pick. It's kind of hard to pick out like January cold movies, so
Yeah.
I don't even care. I was going to try to wait for one that had like a theme. I don't even care. This doesn't have a theme, but I think this is a fantastic movie that we have not done yet. And we're going to add, as you say, a little comedy.
Okay.
But like in a different way, you know?
No, but sure.
And I'm going to read how it is described.
Okay. What's the year? Can I get the year?
1998.
Oh.
It is
okay.
described as a, I don't know why, but a black comedy crime film.
Okay.
So the thing about this movie is when I saw the suggestion, it's one of those movies that I've actually never seen, but it's gone on too long that I'm like too afraid to admit that I've never seen it. So now is my chance to just tell everybody I haven't seen it. And
wait, it's like a crime movie? Because maybe
like
I
comedy.
didn't see it.
No,
oh, it's a comedy.
You've seen this.
I've seen this. Okay.
So this has a famously epic character played by Jeff Bridges.
Oh, I think I know what it is.
Guess it.
The Big Lebowski? Bridget, you've never seen this movie?
No, I'm so embarrassed I haven't.
Oh my god!
It's gone too long. Tommy, we love you for suggesting this because this is a fantastic movie. Now, I've never seen it, but I've, like, too many people have told me it's fantastic that I can't deny it's not.
My god. Wait, and they're like in California in this movie. I don't know where in California, but
Los Angeles.
oh my god. Bridget, this is Coen Brothers.
Woo!
Fargo. Come on.
Wow.
You're gonna die, like, with laughter and joy.
I can't
Because
wait.
it's so absurd.
I can't wait.
I have not met one person who does not
Well,
like
that's
this
why
movie.
I'm like, it has to be a fantastic movie.
It's
I can't.
so funny.
I'm really, really, really excited. And, I mean, when was the last time you saw it? Because that's another thing. Like, will it be
Probably
the same?
like a couple months ago
Oh,
because
oh my God,
it's
okay.
great. And I definitely sometimes, maybe too often, dress as the Big Lebowski. Sometimes. Unintentionally, but it's fine.
That is my life nowadays.
Wait till you see his outfits because you're gonna be like, wait, I do relate because like he picks comfy clothes. So, oh my god, I love it. Good pick. Well, Bridge.
Yeah.
I just want to say, if you were in a cage match.
Okay.
And, you know, nobody knew you were a mutant and you were doing it for money and I was just hanging out watching. I would make sure to play many metallic sound effects just cuz. And then you and I could joke about how fucking stupid everyone is for not realizing you were metal or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Bridge.
Wow.
Oh.
If you, which we didn't actually acknowledge yet, got to pick a superpower for yourself, I would pick a superpower for you, which is whenever somebody says something you don't like, or like comes back at you with like basically a better comment, you fly away like Magneto.
Very slowly, and
you
I
have
just
no
look at
choice.
them.
Your body just actually flies away like Magneto.
I would never not be flying, I don't think. So that I would be like a balloon and be like, somebody tie a string to me because this is getting out of hand. It's a windy day. Oh my god. Oh my freaking god, I love that. Wait, okay, so if I could have any superpower, I would want to be able to fly.
Right? Okay,
Yes.
yeah. Flying's cool.
But the problem with flying is I think that's a superpower other people could very easily, like, notice. So, like, that's when I would get kidnapped by the government, and then Fox Mulder and Dana Scully from the X-Files would have to come rescue me in the alien bunker in New Mexico. Okay.
Okay.
What about you? What would you have?
So I like the flying thing, and I've always thought it would be really cool to like swim, like have fish gills,
Like breathe underwater. Oh,
but
yeah,
like,
that
but
would
like
be cool.
fly too. Like it's not like you're just going underwater and chilling. Like you could like go really fast underwater and fly in the air. Because I would just be like a freaking dolphin, loving my life, just loving my life in the water, out of the water. I don't know if I'd actually help people with my powers, but
I mean, that's kind of like Aquaman's power, isn't it?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I love that. Oh, that's great. Well, and listeners, if you also would like to have a mutant ability, probably not the one where you fly away every time someone annoys you. And if you think that Hugh Jackman is really sexy,
Woo!
and if you love the X-Men like me, you should write us a review.
Hey!
We love reviews. We love written reviews. You can review us on Apple Podcasts along with some other podcasting apps. We also have a website, sisterswhoseenit.com. If you scroll down on the main page, there's a form you can fill out to request a movie. So our pick for next week was picked by Tommy, who went on the website, scrolled down, filled out the form, and gave us a movie request. So if you have a burning desire to, I don't know, have us watch another X-Men movie, whoops, did I say it? I said it.
Woo!
Get in there and do it. And Bridge, what else can they do on our website?
They can buy us coffee!
Woo!
And that coffee can help with research on how to make Katie fly away when people say things to her she doesn't like. We could go to a lab.
It will involve radiation and helium, and then, so we'll work on it. We'll figure it out.
Honestly, it is January. I don't know much
Yes,
of what.
It's January. Yes.
I was trying to, because we've recorded this so far ahead, it's like, oh, the holidays are coming, the giving season, but it's
They're
like,
not.
no,
They're
we're
past.
in January.
We're done.
So you know what?
Moving
If
on.
you have leftover Christmas money and you don't know what to do with it, you send us our way. Okay, let's do this. Also, I'm going to be so tired with the baby.
Support women and their beautiful mutant ability to literally create life and push it out of a small space.
Stop it!
Okay, sorry. sorry.
Moving on.
It's magic. Okay, yes. So please check all that out, and we hope to hear from you. All right. Well, we'll see y'all next week for The Big Lebowski. Oh my God, I'm so excited. It's so good. It's so fun.
I love you.
I love you.
And I love Magneto's little booty flying away. Goodbye.
Okay. I love Wolverine's booty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Love you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at sisterswhoseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.